Okay, so in this box should be a Sony PlayStation 2. Power light comes, can't get a signal to TV. And I paid £12.50. £9 plus £3.50 postage. It looks in good condition. So let's see if we can get it fixed. That top's in very nice condition. It doesn't look like it's been opened. The buttons feel okay. Right, I've got a television behind us. So we'll get it plugged in and we'll see what it does. If I scoot over to the right here and bring up the next camera. Right, so there's the PlayStation 2. We'll switch it on at the back and switch it on at the front. And nothing. That's not the fault I was expecting. Sorry, I haven't got switched on at the wall. Right, switch it on at the back. It's on at the front. There's a red light. There's a disc in. The Verve. Nothing on the telly. AV3, that's what we want. You've got to be joking. It's come on. That's not a fault, is it? You buy these things expecting to have a fault. And has it read the CD? I'll try a game. I'll plug a controller in. Let's try The Simpsons. It's not the best condition CD in the world, but if it reads this, it's... Tell you what, I'll just turn it off. I'll turn it back on. I've got audio. And it doesn't look like it's read the disc. Or has it? Is it going to read this or not? Why is it taking so long? Sounds like it's reading it. There we go. Right. So the PlayStation is indeed working. So I've paid £12.50 and I've gotten a PlayStation 2. It's in very nice condition. And I've gotten a CD of the Verve. We'll just try. Yeah, the controller is working by the looks of it. See if the game boots up before I start looking at something else. Well, I think that settles it. We'll take that out. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll check the date and the time. 16th of the 10th, 15:55. The time's out by about 15 minutes. But it's the correct date. Perfect. So the battery in the inside is still working. Well, I'd normally be disappointed, but I do like these PlayStation 2s, and this one is in nice condition. So I'll probably give it a bit of a clean, and I'll keep this one actually for myself. So let's look at something else. I'm disappointed and happy all at the same time. Right, what have I got to look at today? I've got a very nice parcel. It's still got my address on, because I wasn't expecting to open it. A Gameboy Pocket with a copy of Tetris. And I bought this because I wanted a copy of Tetris. I don't know what the fault is. In fact, I don't even know if there is a fault. Right. I bought a Gameboy Pocket for $34.99, which is a bit more than what I would normally pay, but it did come with Tetris. And the original listing says spares repair. And the description says, for sale, transparent Gameboy Pocket. Turns on but won't play a game. Just freezes after the Nintendo logo dings. Comes with Tetris as seen. No returns, sold as spares repair. That should be a fairly straightforward one. The battery contacts are okay, but they could do with a clean. Let's pop a couple of batteries in and find out. I'm just happy to have a copy of Tetris again. There's the Nintendo logo. Right, so I think the console's okay, it's just that game is faulty. Assuming that, we'll give it a wipe. It's a bit dirty. Try again. Where's the button on the top? Ammeter. Right, it's done something different now, hasn't it? Right, let's open up the... Oh, right. Obviously the best thing to do is to try another game. So if I try another game, if this game works, it's the cartridge. Oh dear. It's not the game. Strange. Okay, let's try the game in a known working system. A known working system, he said. That hasn't come on. A known working system, that's not working. Damn it. Wait. Take two. You're joking. This is me. This has got a faulty switch. So the game works. I've got no volume on this now. Oh, I have. I can't remember what I fixed on this. Now it's working. I'll have to go back in the video. It's working. spot on now. There's still a little bit of a problem. This is a replacement switch, isn't it? This is the one that had a faulty inductor. Yeah, it's probably that little replacement switch. Right, anyways. So there's something wrong with the gubbins in here. Right. Could it be just faulty pins in there? Let's open it up and have a look. I can see some little blue spots just in there, which looks awfully like corrosion. And it is. Right, let's have a closer look. C10's got some growth on it. And some corrosion there. The main CPU looks okay. There's the pins and the game reader. The cartridge slot looks okay, but there is some corrosion underneath the cartridge slot, which is probably why it's not working. Water tends to fall in and get underneath there, and then just kills the console. I wonder what C10 is related to. We'll have to take the board out. Let's see if we can trace the pins from the cartridge slot to the bottom of the CPU. Oh, look at that. What? It's got fungus. What on earth is that? Is that the that's the battery terminal, BT. Wow. I'm gonna put some vinegar on it and see what it does. Uh-oh. The board's peeling up. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm surprised it switches on. It's gone. There's no corrosion at the top. I'm trying not to dislodge that. Oh. Now if that comes off, the trouble is it's a see-through blooming case. So it's going to spoil it. And on the back side, it stinks of vinegar. Right, let's flush that out with a bit of IPA. Now I don't think that's going to make a difference, but I'm going to try it anyways. I think it's going to be a case of tracing the game card slot to the CPU. Helps if I put the batteries in the correct way. I've got Nintendo and nothing. Now that's it's a bit strange because the screen goes off. Now I've got no power. Now it's not powering on at all. Marvellous. Isn't that brilliant? Well done, Philip, you've made it worse. Nope. Kaput. Right, well let that dry out and we'll come back to it and I can have some tea. Right, so this is where I'm at. If I turn this on, I get the Nintendo logo and then nothing. So I'm wondering if it's a voltage problem to the game rather than a data line. I would have thought if I had some data lines working from the slot to the CPU, I would get some kind of corrupt image or something like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is to check for a missing voltage. So I'll turn that off. Right, that's on. And the schematic says I've got voltage VCC on pin 1 on the cartridge slot, and I've got V in here, which could also be voltage, I would think, and ground is pin 32. So I'm going to check those pins for voltage first, and then if it's got voltage I'm going to have to go from each pin across to the main CPU here and look for any broken traces. So pin 1 and pin 31 are the ones I'm interested in at the moment. So which one's pin 1? Tell you what else I've noticed before I do anything else. This pin right on the end is a little bit bent compared to the rest of them. I wonder if that's pin 1. Right, so we switched on here and we'll touch pin 1 and it's not. Pin 1 on this side. There we go, to pin 1. So the one on this side, that must be ground. I'll pop it underneath the microscope and I'll see if I can bend it into a better place. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, if that's pin 1, 5 volts, The next one to the ground is pin 31, and that's got 1.42 volts. So I'm assuming, I don't know, but at least it's got voltage. So we'll see if we can bend this pin back into place. Should it be up like that? I'm not sure if it's correct. You can see how indented it is compared to the rest. Is that supposed to be like that? I can't see it's moved because it's soldered in place. I'm not sure if that pin's supposed to be that high. So I'm wondering if I can open up a game, check for continuity on that pin to the game. So that goes in that way. So it's this pin to ground. So it's the pin on the bottom here, which is that one, to ground. Yeah. So it is making contact with ground, so it must be correct. Which is a bad thing, because now it means I'm going to have to start tracing pins from here to the CPU. This is ground, so that's 32. So pin 1 is VCC, pin 2 is PH1. I'm hoping to follow some type of order. Pin 2 is PH1, which doesn't look like I can find it. Here we are, PH1, 77. Right, where's 77? There's 1, 2, so 20, 27, 40, 41. It only goes up to 65, 64, 65, 80. The corrosion on the board was down here on this side, so hopefully it's not going to take us too long to work this out. I'm not going to bore you with everything, but 80, 79, 78, 77 should be pin 2. Right, so there's a beep. I'm going to have a piece of paper and I'm going to tick off every one as I go along. And I've only got to do 30, I've only got to do about 30. So pin 1's got 5 volts, pin 2 is correct, pin 3 goes to WR, which is 78. 80, 79, 78. Yep, 78's fine. Right, I'm going to carry on like this and I'll report back when I find something. So I've gone from 1, which was VCC, all the way down to pin 24. I've still got 25 to 29 left to go. I'm running out of options. 25's good. 26 is good. Right, so I've got contact from all of the pins to the CPU. So there's something else responsible for this not working. Now it's just getting interesting, and I have no idea why. So I'm going to check for voltage on these chips. So we'll bring this up. We'll check main CPU first. So it looks like I've got voltage in on pin 26 here. Let's try that first, voltage in. We'll have to give it some voltage. I'm going to hook my ground up. There we go. Right, pin 26 I'm sure is, did I count 4? 24. Switch on. So pin 25 has 4.3 volts. Daft man, voltage in's 26. What's pin 25 then? 25's reset. 26 is voltage in. This one, which is 1 volt. So that's 1 volt on 26. And that's V in. 25's reset. Let's have a look at this memory chip, U2. U2 is pin 28 VDD, VCC and ground. So 28 on here is, if there's 14 along the bottom, this should be 28. 4.5 volts. I think that's a little audio amp. That says U3 on the board, which is this one, but I can't imagine it being this one causing the problems, because it's only for the audio. But it is, voltage is on pin 4 and 14. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 volts, and 14, there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 volts. So that looks okay to me. I'm going to see what DA2 and DA1 is, because I think there's corrosion there. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to take this game cartridge slot off. This is the DC to DC conversion. So I've got VCC, I think comes in on 1. 2's nothing. 3 and 4 go to ground. 5 goes to TP56 VEE. And 6 goes to TP55 VDD. What's the difference between VEE and VDD? Who knows? So I'm interested in 1, 5 and 6. Here we are. There's 6, 4.5 and 5 minus 17. Presumably that's for the screen, I would think. And 1 comes in here. 2 volts. Seems a little bit low. 2 volts. I've got 3 volts on my power supply. While I'm on, we'll check this one, which is U4. Right, U4. Voltage, pin 10. I've got no, what does it do? I've got no idea. Right, pin 10. Where we are. 8, 9, 10. Negative 9 volts. I'm wondering if it runs the screen. Oh yes, look, LCD. This is LCD bias generation. Right, there's the LCD connector. I've got VDD on pin 14. Which obviously it works, so it must be okay. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. 4.5 volts. So I am getting a bit stuck. Now I've got a diode here, D5, which doesn't seem to have voltage on it. I mean, here's D3. D3's got 2.4, so that's strange. Let's find out where that goes to. D5. Is it a diode? It's got to be, hasn't it? Yeah, that's definitely a diode D5. And it should have voltage. Let's look into that a little bit further. D5. And it's up next to the power switch. So we'll start up there. D3, D2. Well, D5 just seems to connect to the output of the D4 LED. And then it goes to ground. So I don't think I should have voltage on it after all. If I turn the power off and check this in diode mode, 0.59 and 2.4. So I think that's alright after all. Still unsure what these are. Keep coming back to these. I think they're a diode array. Open. Now that's going straight through. And that one's open. Open. Straight through. And open. So I think they're probably okay because they both come out. They're open both ways. And Oh, what are they? What are they? N1 and N1. Don't know what they are. Right, so I found DA1 and DA2 seem to be connected to the button signal selection and the D-pad signal selection. So I cannot see that being a problem causing the game not to load. So I'll have to carry on looking. I think there's quite a bit of corrosion underneath that cartridge slot. So I think I'm going to have to take that off. And if I have a look, this is my picture. I dismantled a Gameboy Pocket a while ago and I took all the components off and I scanned the board. And you can see there's quite a few wires underneath here that could be compromised. Not so much on this side. So I don't really want to take it off, but I think I have to. Now I'm not too clued up on this, but the CPU says it should have a clock signal on 66 and 67, and that's coming from the system clock, which is 4.19 megahertz. So I'm going to see if I can find that. It seems to come out of test point 3, test point 1, CK1. I wonder if that's on the other side of this board. CK1, CK2. That should be easy enough to pick up. Cables are messed up. Right, so the board's on. And if I go to CK1, nothing's happening. Right, sorry, the board wasn't on. The board's on. I'm going to hold that on CK1. Press the auto button, the magic button. What's it doing? I had something there. Frequency 4.17. It's coming in and out. CK2. That seems to be jumping all over the place. Coming on C1 and C2, which is just here. I'm not sure if the clock's working properly. I'll turn it off, clip that onto there. Right, we're powered on, auto. I'll try going off these capacitors, C1, auto detected none. Auto detected none. So is it this? Now I've just got 4.17 megahertz, 4.2 megahertz. So the clock seems to be working. I'm just checking these pins one by one to make sure they're loose. These three are still stuck. I'm just trying to avoid any broken traces when I rip this off. That's it. That's it. And there's some damage there, certainly. This side looks okay. But this side, surprisingly, it looks like I've missed all the traces that I checked earlier. But obviously there's a lot going on here. So we'll have to clean this up and see what we're left with. Right, what do we have here? Right, so this comes down to here. That does work, surprisingly. That one doesn't seem to work. That one seems okay. These all look like they need a repair. Okay, so I've got pin 15 to pin 28. So pin 15 comes down to here. That's okay. 16 should come down to here, but it's broken there. So 16 is broken here. 17 is working. 18 looks like it's broken here. 19, which is this one, that comes to here, I think. That's broken there. 20 works. 16 doesn't. 17 does. 18 doesn't. 19 doesn't. 20 does. So I've got 3 trace repairs to do on that. The trouble is, to test it, I've got to put the blooming cartridge slot back on. So I'm going to need to test these as well. I don't think any of these are going to work. Oh, that's loose. That works. So this one's gone. This one comes down to here, I think. I'll scrape it off here. So that's missing from there. That's missing from there to there. But it comes down to here, I think. Comes along the top to this one. Yes. So it's broken from there to there. So this one needs a repair. It's just here. Just that bit there. Right, next one. This one comes down and the second one in to here. So this is broken somewhere, probably there. That's okay. And that one, I'm going to follow that one down to there. So that's working. So that's broken just there. And this one definitely looks broken. There's nothing left on that one. Right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to fix there. This first one was okay, if I remember correctly. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus I think 3 up here. And then I'll put the cartridge slot back on and we'll test it again. I'm going to take a little break, and when I come back, these will all be done. Right, well, I've saved you from the boredom of watching trace repair, but that's all the traces in that part of the board done. So I can either put the cartridge slot back on. I'm wondering if I should test these pads first. They look okay. I think I'll find out where these pads go, because they are on the bottom of the board and the damage seems to be in the middle. There's only 8 to check, so I may as well do that before I put this port back on. What's that? Up to P12. Where's P12? Joypad sheet. P12 goes to pin 71. So there's up, and it goes to pin 71, which is on the other side of the board. So how am I going to test that? 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71. That one. And if I touch this one down here, I don't get anything. There's up, P12, down to here. Yes. Through the board to here. And then it comes up to one of these. Right, so up comes to one of these. This one. And then it comes up here to this one. But it's behind. It's behind the RAM. Are you going to tell me there's something wrong behind here? It looks like it might come out of here and then go up to pin 71 down here. Is there going to be a problem behind that RAM chip? Have I got this right? 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71 should go to, doesn't, you know. I'm going to try a different one. The down button is P13. So back up, P13 goes to pin 70. So the down button, pin P13, comes along here to this wire, and then it comes through here and it goes to pin 70. So it comes up here, through there to pin 70. It doesn't. Am I reading this all wrong? There's pin 65, the down button to pin 30 into here, and that's going to come out on one of these. Comes to there. Then it goes up to this one, which is also going to be behind the RAM, so we can't see it. And then it's got to come up here to pin 70. Right, so the down button's working. Driving me nuts, this. The right button there is P10, and P10 is pin 74. So the right one, this one, P10, comes to there, and that goes to pin 74. This one's 70. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not working. I don't know if there's corrosion under there or not, but it looks like the buttons aren't working. So I think there's some corrosion underneath this chip. I think I'll do a quick test on this first before I start, and I'll see if a game's going to boot up. This is becoming far more involved than what I expected. Can I test it? Because I've got to put the blooming game cartridge back on. What do I do? What do I do? If I put the game cartridge on and it works, the game boots, the buttons aren't going to work because there's corrosion under here. It doesn't look like there's corrosion under there. It looks clean. I'm going to double check that I've done everything correctly first. And if up isn't working, I'm going to have to take that RAM chip off. So up is P12, and P12 comes to here, which is pin 71. So P12 along here, through there, it comes along to the wires that I've just repaired. So that's going to end up coming on one of these. So it's this one and this one, and it's behind the RAM. Let's bring up the image of the board that I've got. There's you two. So it's just these, isn't it? 71 on here. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. 71 actually goes through the board. I think they're going to come, 71's going to come out here, down to these, which in turn is these. So does one of these go to 71? Oh, shut up, multimeter. Getting a bit fed up. Right, pause. Right, so I've traced up from pin 71 to here, comes out of this wire here, and then it comes down to here and through there and here. So if I go from up all the way up to here, I get continuity. And if I check from down here where it comes through the board, it does hit pin it does hit the pin on the CPU, so up is working. Getting a bit confused with myself, I think. So up and down are both working. So if we bring in left's P11, and P11 is pin 73. P11 comes to that one there. Pop a wire through there. And that one, that's the one. Is it going to hit a pin up here? Bloody no. You're joking, aren't you? It should be on pin 73. That doesn't look great. I'm sure I've tested them all. This one. Yeah. Yes, it does hit a pin up there. Right, so left's working. Right is this one. Flip that over. That's that one there. So I'll just jam my multimeter in there and run across the pins. Yeah. So I think them buttons will be working spot on, because they are the ones that went up to here. So what I'm going to do, because I think I've got continuity on this side, which runs through here to the pins up here, which is working, I'm going to put this connector back on and I'm going to test it. Which way did it go back on? Go on that way. Must have done. Oh! Hey, I tell you what. That's clipped straight back in. That's only going to take a couple of minutes to solder back up. It would have been funny if I'd soldered it on upside down. Right, let's test that. I'm quite hopeful about this. Have a game in. We can clean the flux up if it works. I think that's switched on there. We'll put the power supply on and give it 3 volts. Uh-oh. Oh, look. It's on. Tetris. The speaker's not on. I don't know why. Brilliant. Wow, we're getting somewhere now. I'll plug a speaker in. This is making me work for it, this one. Right, switch on again. Yes. Come on. There we go. So we've got audio. The audio is working. There's something wrong with the speaker. Great. Right. Speaker time. Let's find out what's wrong with that. Should I test it? No, we'll look at the speaker first. I need to test the volume. The speaker is still connected, I think. Let's have a look. The speakers looks okay from the back. From the front, still connected, but is it working that way? Or could there be corrosion in the headphone port? Here's the thing. The headphone port's corroded. The speaker is not going to work. So let's have a look at I have a feeling it's 2 and 3. We'll find out which switch it is. Right, back to the schematic. Volume control, speaker and amplifier, headphone switch. Looks like it's on 4 and 5. Doesn't sound right. That's 4's going to ground. Left out, right out. Left out and right out is 1 and 3. 2 goes to ground. If you plug something in, I think it opens. So it's 2 and 5, I think. We can check it. Let's check it. I think it might be 2 and 5. Can I zoom out a bit more? Yes, I can. See, I think that should go straight through. I think if I plug a headphone in and if I pull it out, I think it should then go straight through. If I test that speaker, I know it's in circuit, but if I go there to there, 8.3 ohms on my multimeter, so I think the speaker's okay. I think this is corroded. Oh, that's breaking it there, look, isn't it? There's the switch working there. So I should have continuity from this metal bar to this pin here to here. And I do. So why is the speaker not working? Tell you what, I'll spray it with a bit of contact cleaner. Oh, it's gone all over my hand. So we'll do that. We'll wait for that to evaporate. Is there a filter connected to that speaker? So there's the speaker, and it just comes out as speaker out on U3, straight across to C31, but it goes up to EM1, comes up to here. That's ground 1. Look, left and right, and ground from the headphone jack to EM1. So there's pin 1, ground, to EM1, through EM1, and to the speaker. And this side of the speaker should go to pin 3 on U3, which is there. Pin 3 should come down to here. And it does. So there's no reason for the speaker not to work. On the schematic it connects to C31 and then goes to ground. Right, so the speaker does indeed connect to this capacitor and go to ground. So why is the speaker not working? I've got this little speaker probe, so I'll plug this into, switch this on. Trouble is, the game cartridge covers up. Oh, hold on. I can take the game cartridge out. Shut up, multimeter. If I take the game cartridge out, I can just switch it on and off and listen for the beep. So if I switch that off, take out this game cartridge, switch that back on, because I'll get a beep, won't I? Right, speaker. Confirm I get a beep. Yes, I do. Right, so I know speaker comes out of pin 3 on U3. So I should be able to hold this on pin 3. With this going to ground, I should get a beep. Oh, does that mean U3 could be damaged? It's possible that there's a problem with U3. The sound chip. The audio out for the headphone jack comes out of a different pin. But I do have continuity from pin 3 to the speaker. So speaker out is number 3. I better use my microscope. If I hold that still there on pin 3 and switch on. Right, I got a beep. So I do have audio coming out of U3. And then it goes straight to the speaker though, that's the trouble. So although I've got 8 ohms on the speaker, I think I should replace that speaker just to rule it out. Let's see what I've got in my bag of tricks. This is certainly making me work hard. Is that the same size? It's too big. Oh no! It's about the same size. I don't know if it's the right one. It's got 8 ohms. It says 8 ohms, 1 watt. Smaller. Does it fit in there? Fits in there. Tell you what, we'll try it. I don't know which polarity is which. I'm just gonna guess on which way the wires go. Right, well that's bodged on there. Quickly plug that in there. Turn it on. I might have heard a beep, a click. I did. It's on. Well, how? I don't know how that's not working. Surely that one should work if I've got 8 ohms of resistance. Now I've got totally different, you see. So, no, 8.3. I would have thought that speaker would work. I wonder if it's the cables. I'm going to quickly put this one back on. Right, that's the original one back on. And I did that while it was switched on as well. I shouldn't have done. No, it's definitely broken. Switch off. Right, that's the replacement back on. And I can hear it switch. Right, switch everything back off. I'm going to put it back together and test it fully. First, I want to clean up that. Careful. Give this a bit of a clean. Let's see if I can put some IPA in those volume wheels and contrast wheel, just to get any bit of dust or dirt out. Right, let's go for it. Just hold that in place. We'll try a couple of batteries. We've got audio. We've got the start buttons working, left and right. Up, slowing it down. Down's working. They are working. They need a bit of a press, but they're working. Yeah. That sounds alright. The only issue is the A and B need a bit of a press to get them to work. So I'm wondering if the bottom of the pads just need a bit of a clean. That screw wasn't all the way in, which is probably why. So I'll just tighten that up. I'll put this one back in. Let's test that again. No, still a little bit. You just got to put a bit more pressure on. I've done so much work on it, I may as well see if I can get them a little bit more responsive. It's probably just these. Just give them a bit of a wipe. Right, that's about as much as I can do. Right, I'm a screw missing. Is it still in this bag? Yes, it is. Wrong screwdriver. Dummy. let's try a different game. Right, let's try Tetris DX. Oh, look, I forgot to put the blump. Ah, I don't believe it. I haven't put the... They've fallen out. Why didn't anyone tell us? I rely on you guys to keep me... Wrong screwdriver, dummy. I rely on you guys to keep me on the straight and narrow. Well, I've just passed 1,000 subscribers since I uploaded the last video. So this video has took a little bit longer because I've been busy at work, and this has not been a straightforward fix. If I could have seen the corrosion without having to take the cartridge, the game cartridge slot off, I would have been done quicker. But I did want to try and approach the repair methodically. Having said that, I did see the corrosion, and I think I pointed it out from the start. So that call of, I think that might have to come off, was right. So perhaps I should have just followed me instinct and took it off straight away, and I would have saved myself some time. But it's been a bit of a challenge. It wouldn't be the same if it was just a faulty switch every time you opened one up, and I'm sure you'd get bored. So I'm glad it's been a video with a bit more depth to it. I do like the ones that are a little bit more challenging, but not too challenging. Right, they're in now. Good. That's in. So thank you to everybody who's subscribed to us since I've started, because like I say, I've hit 1,000, and that's my first milestone. So I think I paid £35 for this, if memory serves us right, but it did come with the original Tetris, which is probably about a tenner. This will make someone a nice little Christmas present, so I might just pop it on Gumtree for sale as Christmas approaches and see if I can get £40. Well, I'll see if I can get £50 for it. With Tetris, of course, or with Tetris 2. I want to keep the original one. I like this one, I want to keep this one. Try the new one. Yeah. Speakers working, up and down's working. Left and right are all working. Oh, that's better. Look at that. Much better. That was worthwhile taking it apart again. Yes. Well, I am over the moon with that. Another little Gameboy Pocket saved from the tip. Needed half a dozen trace repairs done, a new speaker, and a bit of cleaning. And that has been a very nice, worthwhile little project for my channel. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much if you've watched it all the way through. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for clicking like. And I do hope to see you all in the next one. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm really pleased with that.